This one kitchen scrap attracts worms faster than compost, and in many cases, it works even better than fertilizer. Hello, friends. Welcome to Golden Roots Living. If you're new here, this is where we reconnect with the soil, grow real food, and build gardens that actually last in a noisy, fast-moving world. Maybe you have a small backyard, maybe just a few pots by your window, or maybe you've tried composting before and it felt too slow, too messy, or just not worth the effort. Or maybe you're tired of fertilizers that promise everything but leave your soil worse off over time. If that sounds like you, stay with me, because today's video might completely change how you see your soil. But quickly, before we dive in, if you care about growing healthier plants, saving money, and working with nature instead of against it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the Golden Roots Living family. And tell me in the comments, what are you currently growing right now?
The silent problem beneath your soil. Before we talk about the scrap itself, we need to understand something deeper. Because the real issue most gardeners face isn't lack of fertilizer, it's lack of life. Across the world, soil is under pressure. Unpredictable weather, longer dry seasons, sudden heavy rains. And yet, many people still think of soil as just dirt, something lifeless, something you can fix with a bag from the store. But soil isn't dead, it's alive. Inside just one handful of healthy soil is an entire hidden world, millions of organisms working together to store water, break down nutrients, support plant roots. When that life disappears, your plants struggle, no matter what you add on top. That's why your small garden matters more than you think. You're not just growing plants, you're rebuilding life from the ground up.
Why earthworms change everything. Now let's talk about the real builders of healthy soil, earthworms. If you've ever wondered why some gardens thrive effortlessly while others constantly struggle, this is usually the difference. Worms don't just live in soil, they transform it. As they move, they create tiny tunnels that allow air and water to reach plant roots. As they feed, they produce castings, one of the richest natural fertilizers on Earth. Not chemical, not artificial, fully alive. But here's what many people get wrong. You can't force worms to stay. They choose where they live. If your soil is dry, compacted, or overloaded with chemicals, they simply leave. So instead of asking, how do I grow better plants, the real question is, how do I make my soil irresistible to worms? Before I show you the exact scrap, let's be honest about something. Gardening is full of miracle tricks. Use this, add that, try this one secret method. And after a while, it gets confusing. But real gardening doesn't rely on hype, it relies on observation. The soil doesn't care about trends, it responds to biology. The best gardeners don't chase shortcuts, they understand patterns. And when it comes to attracting worms, one pattern shows up again and again. The one scrap that changes everything. If you want to attract worms quickly and naturally, use soft, water-rich fruit scraps, especially banana peels and watermelon rind. This surprises a lot of people. Most expect things like compost or coffee grounds to work faster, but worms are drawn first to moisture, soft texture, and fast microbial activity. And that's exactly what these scraps provide. They begin breaking down almost immediately. Microbes rush in, and worms follow. It's like sending out a signal underground. Food is here. Conditions are perfect. Even better, these scraps create a cool, damp environment, exactly what worms love. And because they're soft, worms can feed on them easily without stress. This isn't about feeding your plants directly, it's about feeding the system that feeds your plants. That's the difference.
Why this matters for the future. Right now, the way we grow food is changing. Fertilizers are getting expensive, weather is unpredictable, soil quality is declining in many places. But here's the interesting part. Even as farming becomes more advanced, with technology and sensors, the focus is coming back to something very simple: soil life. Healthy soil equals resilient plants. And what you're doing in your small garden, it's part of that bigger shift. When you use kitchen scraps instead of chemicals, you create a natural cycle. Waste becomes nutrients. Nutrients feed soil life feeds your plants. That's sustainability in its simplest form. Let's make this practical. Here's exactly how to use this method. First, choose the right spot. Go to the outer edge of your plant, where the active roots are growing. Next, dig a small hole, about 4 to 6 inches deep. Now, take your banana peels or melon rind and chop them into smaller pieces. This step is important. It speeds up decomposition. Place the scraps into the hole and cover them lightly with soil. Don't press too hard. Keep it loose. Then add mulch on top if you have it. This helps retain moisture and keeps pests away. Now wait. In about a week, come back and check gently. If conditions are right, you'll start noticing more worm activity. But don't overdo it. Too much can attract ants or rodents. Keep it balanced.
There's something deeper here. This isn't just about gardening. It's about how we approach growth. We live in a world that pushes speed, quick results, instant fixes. But the soil doesn't work like that. It responds to patience. When you bury a simple scrap and wait, you're trusting a process. Worms don't rush, yet over time, they transform everything. That's how real growth works: quiet, steady, and often invisible at first.
Let's talk engagement. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever tried burying kitchen scraps in your soil? What did you notice? Or next time you cut a watermelon or eat a banana, will you try this? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. If this video changed how you see your soil, don't stop here. Subscribe to Golden Roots Living for more simple, powerful ways to grow healthier plants naturally. And share this video with someone who's struggling with their garden. You might completely change how they grow. Because at the end of the day, the best gardens aren't built with products. They're built with understanding. Until next time, keep your hands in the soil, keep learning, and let nature do what it does best.